Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar, and this is part two of the What a Week post. This week has been it's been long. I actually haven't had a long work week in quite some time. I feel like it's only because I've been the breaker, and I don't like being the breaker. Like, I despise being the breaker. Today was the prime example of why I hate being the breaker. I had to do the most hated task. I'm just thankful that my hand didn't try me. And speaking of, I'm glad I said that. I don't remember if I told y'all this or not, but last week I kind of got pushed to a certain level, and they had me stay over one day, and my hand just it started hurting, and it was just like, all right, now I'm tired. This was like Friday. I had to stay over Friday, and I had to stay over Saturday of last week, right? Child, my hand was just like, no, ma'am. Like, normally I do everything I'm supposed to do and then some, right? It was almost time for me to go, and they had to get the breaker from the shift that I was working on to come and basically break me out so I can leave and take my break. And then, after my break was over with, clock out and go for the day. I just had to explain to him, like, I'm sorry, I didn't finish doing this. Like, I had done, you might as well say I did 85 to 90% of what I was supposed to do. It wasn't bad off, but it wasn't what I would have done. It's not the way that I would have left it for the person coming in behind me. So I felt some type of way. But he was like, oh, it's okay. Even though he was a new guy, I was just like, yeah, you just don't understand. And like, he didn't know. And I explained to him that I hurt my hand months ago, and it was almost to that pain level. And I was just struggling. I started struggling like the last 2 hours of the workday. So yeah, y'all. So I tried to, when I was done for the day, I clocked out, and then I went to go and try to talk to the person who was basically the nurse that's on duty. For whatever reason, every time somebody tells me that they scheduled an appointment for me to see her, something always happens. I never been able to link up with her. I'm only able to get the woman who's there when my shift is about to be over. She comes, excuse me, y'all. That's why I paused it earlier, because I'm trying not to yawn on camera. I know, like, when I first started, it was so bad with me yawning. I'm trying not to yawn, but I just ate and I'm tired. But I want to finish doing this video to finish up, the part two, to tell y'all the things that have been going on. Okay, y'all. So excuse me for that. Excuse me in advance if I end up doing it a couple of more times. Y'all excuse me. Look, isn't it cute? I love my shirts that are like this. I hadn't worn this in a while. Anyway, y'all. So since she wasn't available, somebody made an appointment for me to come back on my next work day, which would have been Tuesday. So I came back Tuesday, and I saw the woman that I normally see. This time, she really went to work on my hand. Y'all, okay, so this is the hand that got hurt, right? So there is some pressure point that's in here, and she touched it, and I can actually touch it, y'all. When she touched it, y'all, almost slid down the floor. It hurt me so bad. It was so uncomfortable, and it hurt so bad. So of course, Tuesday being the first day of physical therapy this time, um it was so bad. She spent pretty much that last hour of my workday trying to loosen my hand up. Like, she said that my muscles were so tight and tense, and she could feel that I had been overworking my hand. And I was just like, I don't know. I mean, it came from out of nowhere. I was not ready for it. She told me that she already could tell that I had been doing the most. So I was like, okay. So, of course, I had to, she wanted me to give her the rundown of the things I had been doing at work as to what could have been attributing to this. So, contributing, attributing, all of that. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. So, y'all, like, she went to town. So then she'd done this, right? Then she rolled my sleeve up, touched some part right here, excuse me, near the femur and all that stuff. She said some bones that I knew the names of because I learned those bones by name in school. Some of the stuff that she was talking about, I didn't know what she was talking about. But she was like touching them and telling me what they were and all this stuff. So she gets to some point, I can find it. It hurts so bad. It hurt exactly where it hurts in my hand. But it's weird because when everything first happened, when I first got hurt months ago, she kept asking me, did my arm hurt? And I said, no. Like, I didn't have the slightest bit of pain at all, ever, in my wrist and my arm, none of that. It was strictly across my hand right here. And I just never understood why she kept asking me that. And so she was like, well, I kept asking you that back then because all of that is connected. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that makes sense. But she was just kind of shocked that I didn't have any pain. Like, when I tell y'all, apparently the way that I tripped and fell and caught myself, it's a miracle that I didn't do way more damage than what I did. Okay, so she working some spot up in here, y'all. And so when she's right here doing what she was doing, she was stretching all of this out. So at the same time as holding this, when my hand is in excruciating pain, she's making me, at first she had to move my thumb for me, and then she kind of loosened it up, and then she kept asking me to do that. Then she would hold this part of my hand, which I can kind of feel it right now, and she would have me to kind of move my wrist, because she was like, most people don't just, you have your hand mobile and you move it, and you're stretching the muscles and all this stuff out, and you loosening them up and all that. So that's where the problem came in. Like, that's just not something I do. I just use this is my dominant hand on top of that. So I'm doing the most with this hand anyway. Yeah. So, y'all, that was a whole ordeal. I went almost every day this week. And the second day, I think I went Tuesday and Wednesday. And then she comes too late on Thursdays. I would have had to take a nap at home and then go up there back to work to see her for however long, and then come back home, go to sleep for work, and then go back to work. Like, that would have been too much driving. And I don't know how long she would have had me. Ain't no telling if somebody would have been in there, because if I would have gotten there, somebody was already there. Ain't no telling how long I would have had to wait. Somebody else could have had an appointment. Like, it was just too many factors. So I was like, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna do the exercises that she gave me. She actually sent me some professional exercises because she is a real nurse. So there's some sort of program that they use where she sent me the exercises. She asked me if I wanted to receive them via email or text. And I was like, text it, to me. So she had gotten on her laptop and everything, and she picked the specific ones that I can do that can help me to continue to stretch myself out. And it is including my neck and everything. Like, it's crazy, y'all. All this stuff is it makes sense, but I'm just saying, and as she's talking to me, I'm like, so basically, kind of like when you exercise, you're supposed to warm up. I should have been doing certain neck stretches and all this stuff, because she initially, when everything first happened, she told me to just make sure I massage my neck and stuff like that. That's all I was doing. But now there's some kind of exercise where I do like this, stretch my neck out and all of that, and just kind of move it back and forth. It's a lot of different little exercises. But anyway, y'all, my hand is doing a lot better. Day 2, my hand was sore when I after everything happened, after she stretched it out. So it was pretty much like how you feel when you haven't worked out in a really long time. So my hand was really, really sore. So I was just like, nah, this got to stop. I ain't got time for this. I didn't know whether or not I had any Epsom salt, right? Because I used to have it stacked up. I used to have a lot. Because I stayed with it on me. I really did. And I like smelling certain ones of the Dr. Teals or whatever. So I was very skeptical. I was like, let me just use my Sam's card, and I'm going to go ahead and get whatever they got. They got some kind of brand. I forgot what it was. So I got 2 7-pound bags of that. Child, tell me why when I got home and put the bag down, I'm looking at an unopened bag. Let me show y'all what the bag looked like. All right, y'all. So I had opened this bag up. I just looked at it. I was like, let me see. I had opened this bag up because I wanted to see if it had a scent, because I have uh I have been trying like almost all the new scents of the Dr. Chills that I have been smelling. Like one of them had like lavender or something in it, and I'm very particular when it comes to lavender. Y'all excuse me. I'm very particular when it comes to lavender, cause not I don't really like lavender like that. You got to really come with it for me to like it. And I actually liked that particular lavender one that I had smelled. So I don't know what they did, but it actually smelled good. And there was another one that I really, really, really liked. Like that lavender smelled so good that I opened the bag up, and it when I would come home, the whole house would just smell like it. Like that's how strong it was. So I just was wondering if it smelled like something, and that's why I opened that bag up. I never even used out of it. Like y'all, it is packed to the brim. I have never used this. It's stupid because I'm like, dang it. I done bought 2 7-pound bags of Epsom salt. And I had a 6-pound bag of Epsom salt here already that I could have been using, because I got to start soaking my hand, y'all. Work it out. Do the little exercises and the therapeutic massages that she's giving me. Like right now, I'm feeling the point in my hand where there's pressure. So I have to like move my thumb and all that stuff to kind of make sure I stretch it out. Eventually, you move all your fingers and all that stuff. And child, I told her I was very scared about this part, but she told me not to be scared, nothing to be scared of. But I don't know. It just kind of scared me for some reason, so I just stopped once I touched it and I could feel it. Like you got to kind of feel around for it, but it's there. So anyway, y'all, I'm okay. That just kind of scared me because it was almost to the pain level that it was that day when my hand initially got hurt. She wanted to know what I did recently when my hand was hurting like that. And I told her that when I left, she was like, how did you leave? Like, what happened? I told her, well, I did pretty much the same thing I did the last time. I didn't use this hand at all. I got in my car by using my non-dominant hand. I took my time leaving and everything. Like, I was so scared that it was re-injured and was on the verge of getting back to how it was before. But I was just thankful that it didn't happen like that. So anyway, y'all, enough about that. Look, so y'all know on the breaker this week, and I'm tired. They already got me up there talking about on the breaker Tuesday. I'm like, somebody please now. I'm tired. I can't stand being a breaker. Like, I really can't. Look, and then they got me coming in early Monday. My day don't start for real until Tuesday, right? So they got us coming in. They have every single last one of us who are not any of the people who are on the 90-day probationary period. They come up off a probationary period like in a week or two. And I wish it would hurry up because I'm sick and tired. I'm at the bottom of the rotation list. I should not have to come in here or stay over. I've done my time. I actually did 2 weeks, and I wasn't even supposed to be up there. I was at the top for 2 weeks. I wasn't supposed to be. So anyway, y'all, I'm the breaker. Okay, all week I have been having it good, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Look. So the way most people tend to do it is you break one person out and then there's another person on the other side. So you just working one person's side. Listen, I ain't got time for that. It'd be too much stuff going on. They expect me to break out 4 people, not including myself, and still have time to do all the there are so many different things you have to do throughout the day, and that's what makes me mad. And they really be sitting up here trying to tell you, well, it's possible. And I'm just like, in reality, if you're actually up there doing it, it's not as easy as y'all try to make it out to be. So anyway, look, so what I had started doing was I would go to one department in particular, the side health department, and I would break the people out over there at the same time. And so I would just run the whole department by myself. Okay? They weren't able to even do that. They didn't have to call me on the radio or ask for nothing and try to get my attention and all that, because I was on it. Even if something was going off on one side of the building, I would go down there, do what I needed to do. Some would go off on the other side of the building, all kinds of alarms, bells, whistles, and whatever. Any kind of situation popping off, I'm addressing it within a timely manner, to the point where if they got to call me, that means I'm a little bit too late. They don't have to call me. 99% of the time, they don't get a chance to call me. It has to be a dire situation where they call me. So I'm running the whole department by myself. I'm laughing to myself because every time somebody was in my department, which is, I already told y'all, directly across from the side health department, they would post up and watch me. They wouldn't come over and help or whatever, because I mean, they had their own issues going on. They would post up and watch me, and I'm like, like, okay, yes, I'm handling this by myself. All right. So it keeps on baffling people that I'm a woman who's actually doing her job and I'm doing it well. And for it to be kind of a lot at times, a lot of guys are surprised that I'm able to hang in there like that. Child, tell me why some people trying to come over there. And I'm just like, y'all need to stay where y'all at because this ain't what you want. Like, for me, I feel as though the places that I worked prior to coming there, they prepared me for this type of work. So it's not necessarily hard. It's just sometimes you got to do the most. And I'm just like, mm-mm. And then like when you factor in having to work over or come in early, sometimes it is annoying. So y'all, I'm trying to hurry up and get over to the other department because everybody got some stuff with them, but it just ain't to the same degree that it is upstairs. I'm just like, somebody please. And then like the good thing about it is they are not allowed to try to draft you and be like, hey, we need bodies over there. If I don't want no parts of it, I ain't gotta go. And if I don't volunteer for it, again, I ain't gotta go. It's up to me to say, okay, I'll go and volunteer because I got time for whatever reason, whether the department is not operational or because I just want extra money. It's up to me. So I'm just like, I ain't got time for it. I'm not. I just can't wait. I'm being optimistic about the fact that I'm gonna get this job, and I'm being optimistic about the fact that I'm not gonna have to work over unless I want to work over. So anyway, yeah. So today, today was the first day that I had to deal with the side heifer all week. When we first came back in, she was supposed to be in the new department with the other person that she don't talk to at all. She politely switched with one of the brand new people. The second day, her cousin came back because he took off our first day back, right? So I said, oh, well, her cousin gonna be over there. I doubt if she'll switch because the guy's still over there. She switched. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, well, I wonder if she gonna be desperate enough. Cause I told the dude, I said, I wonder if she gonna be desperate enough to come up to me and ask me to switch with her because she don't speak to me. So she ended up just going to. The only thing that saved her was that the new people were taught how to do it, even though they really still don't know what to do. So she went up to them, and one of them agreed, and so that's why they switched. Child. So the third day, she went on ahead and stayed over there. I don't know what made her stay this time, but she stayed. And they made it mandatory for her to come in today. That's why I hate the way it is right now because I should have 3 days where I don't see her. Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Unless I volunteer to work, I should not have to see her. So they assigned her to come in today. So she had to stay the whole shift. At first they had it where it was just 4 hours. I was like, okay, I ain't got to see her until it's time for her to go. Or really, I ain't got to see her in because all I'm going to do is just walk over there and she going to be walking away and I'm going to walk over there and take over her spot until the person coming in behind her come and I ain't got to worry about nothing. Man, tell me why today, like I said, this is the first time I had to have any encounters with her all week. So she over there. The world then came to an end pretty much, basically, because all the most hated tasks had to be done over there and in my department at the same time. So the supervisor came to me and was like, I need you to go over there and help do this, that, and the other. I said, okay. And so he basically was like, I'm about to go and tell these other people that they're going to have to break themselves out for lunch or whatever, whatever. I had already given them their first break. And, they were cool. So he was like, well, try to just have your break by this time because this is supposed to, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Went over there. The heifer ain't nowhere to be found. She's supposed to be over there with us. So I finished the most hated task, and I come from where I was from doing the most hated task. The person she's partnered up with stops me, and he was like, "Hey, can you help me do this?" I said, "Sure." So I'm looking around without even asking. I'm looking around. So then he was like, "Oh, I already set up her side. Now I'm trying to finish up so I can, set my side up." And I'm saying to myself, "What you mean you set her side up?" Because this heifer is supposed to be here for at least 8 hours. I'm not understanding why you did that. when she wasn't over there helping us to do the most hated tasks. Where was she this whole time? We were up there for an hour and a half. I'm confused. What was you even talking about? Child. So I ain't say nothing about it to him. So I'm waiting. Now, prior to this, y'all, I was over there to break them out for their first break. I broke him out. He was cool. He actually did what he was supposed to do, came back on time and everything. Normally, he do the most. Normally, he come 15, 20 minutes later than he's supposed to. Like, he really be trying to test everybody gangster when it come to this. But he did right today. So, he come back, and I'm saying to myself, okay, now it's time for this heifer to go on her break. This is the normal time she go on her break. So she doing everything but going to break. And what I do is I hang back. I just went and caught me a seat somewhere. I said, okay, I'm gonna wait for this heifer to walk off, and then I take over. And then when it's 5 till the time for her to come back, I'm walking off. She waited 10 minutes until, 10 minutes after she should have already walked away to go on her break to walk up to him and have a 5 to 7 minute conversation, then walk off and walk back past me again, didn't say nothing. And then he had to come over there and tell me that she said she was going to break 30 minutes later. At the same time, I'm going to break. So I said, oh, you must be breaking her out. He was like, yeah, well, I guess so. And I was just saying to myself, I'm not coming back over here no more. I won't be breaking her out. So if a break happens again over here, it'll only be for him. I don't have time for the foolishness. There were things I could have been doing during that time. Like, there is always something that you can be doing when you are the breaker, especially when all departments are operational. I don't like stupidity. I don't like this ignorance. I don't like evilness. She's evil, and I just don't understand. You mad at me because a married man who's not married to you, that you screw, takes it upon himself to try to talk to me. I guess you've been hearing the rumors that he and I have been sleeping together as well. Like, I don't understand. Like, he be going out of his way to try to talk to me. I don't care nothing about his existence. Definitely don't care about yours either. If I wanted him, if he were single and I wanted him, you better believe you would not be able to keep him out of my face. The way that you act around him and about him, that's the way he would act about me. If y'all could see the conversation that somebody was having with me today about experiencing me, y'all don't understand. Over the last 24 to 48 hours, this man been trying to roll up, been begging, pleading, offering all kinds of money, talking about, can I fly you out? Done went off. Done went off. This man done went off on the left, right, front, and back. And still going off. Listen, let me see. Did he send a message? Did he just send one recently? No, I think he had work or sleep. So anyway, yeah, been sending it off for the last 24 to 48 hours. That's just one. That's just one. Girl, I'm just trying to... People just don't know. Like, I could really be a threat if I wanted to be. If I wanted to be. So... y'all excuse me while I drink my spring water. So anyway, child, I just be like, girl, you just... So I've had to deal with the stupidity, and I'm just like, girl, you ain't do no work today. This man did the most. And I was just like, you better than me, because the fact that you didn't go and help to do the most hated task, I won't understand, because at the bare minimum, one of them was supposed to be up there helping to do the most hated task, and they weren't. But it's okay, because we got it done. Somebody ended up coming in early. Even her supervisor even got out there. Now, this is something I'm glad I said the supervisor. So her supervisor, I've been seeing how she been acting lately, y'all. So she been trying to act like she gonna do what she's supposed to, was something that she should have been doing months ago, which is to train for a job in the new department where if somebody is out sick or on vacation and they need her, she would know what to do. And if they needed to draft her to do that job, she would know what to do. So now she's trying to act like she's available now and she gonna do this and that and the other. And I'm just like, but you lied to the people and said you couldn't do it because you have a son that you have to get home to. But, you know, you're usually screwing that married man when you get off. 99% of the time. Not going home rushing to see your son who lives 45 minutes to at least 1 hour away from our job. But go off though. So yeah, I'm just like, girl. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, she's supposed to be trained to do that right. Now all of a sudden you're trying to do that. Oh, okay. Girl. I just hope I don't have to have no dealings with her. I'm really hoping that things will pan out the way they should, which is they will finally see that she's on some foolishness. Oh, so what I was saying about the supervisor was that, so she started being really super duper buddy with the supervisor. And I was just like, I hope he's seeing through the foolishness. I hope he's really seeing through the foolishness, because I'm that type of person that after I've experienced you being trash, you don't just all of a sudden go back to sugar when you were trash just a minute ago. You just don't do that. You were just horse manure a moment ago. Now all of a sudden you're a bag of sugar. No. You ain't gonna get me like that. I play along, and as soon as you slip up, you getting up out of here. That's where they messed up at. When they need to set it off, they don't. They keep trash people in rotation and burn out the people who actually are good workers. Do y'all hear that? Like, I am so serious. Like, I cannot do the stuff I need to do because they be doing the absolute least. What time is it? Lord. So anyway, y'all, when I tell y'all, and then like when I come in, right, they literally have all of us coming in early. So they have, well, I'm gonna have to bring her out, and I'm just like, I gotta deal with her literally all day. Gotta break this dusty heifer out 1, 2, 5 times. And I'm just like, stop making me the breaker. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, y'all, she's very annoying. I ain't never seen somebody so upset that people take it upon themselves to approach me to talk to me. I really be minding my business. People roll up. It's like, how you get mad at me for being myself? All I did was come to work and work. I didn't tell them people to come up to me and notice me and say, hey. And they're just attracted to my aura. They're just attracted to the personality that I give off. There are people, y'all, prime example. Like, I can't help but to continuously give y'all examples that literally just happened. So I'm minding my business talking to my friend who works in the staffing office now. So I'm talking to him, giving him an update, because I'm telling him that I told him I was going out with my friend today. And that I'm going out with my other friend next weekend because her boyfriend came into town this weekend, because I was supposed to go out with her, or at least go over to her house this weekend so we could catch up. So we talking. And so while we in the middle of talking, this woman rolled up, whom she actually, y'all, she is so sweet. She ended up getting me like, let me show it to y'all. She got me this candle, y'all. I was just like, wait a minute. She was like, oh, I got something for you. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I got something for you. You know, she asked me how did everything go when I went home and all this other stuff, because, you know, I kind of whispered to her, I'm going to go home. She was like, okay, then, So she ain't, you know, really say nothing about it because I didn't really go into depth, but I just said I was going to go home. So she was like, I got something for you. Went to her locker, and I'm looking like, what you got? So she showed me that, and I was like, what are you doing? You had to give me nothing. That threw me all the way off. So, y'all, and it smells so good. It's right up my alley. That candle was $30. Okay, y'all, so she was talking about how her feet are, like, really messed up and all this other stuff. So I asked her, has she heard of foot mask before? And I told her that I do foot masks once or twice a year, and they work miracles. So I don't think she gonna remember. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give her 1 or 2 of mine. This works miracles. I don't know if y'all ever did these before, but hallelujah in the name. When I tell you, if you follow I followed the directions to the T with this one. Okay, so I had the last one I used. It didn't work that well, and I don't know if it's because it wasn't this one or not, but it was a coconut one, but I think it was of the same brand. I guess this lavender be setting it off. Look, I don't know. Cause like I just told y'all, I don't be here for nobody lavender like that. Okay, so anyway, used this on my feet. And I for this one, you gotta do it for like an hour or two or whatever. And so your feet, the skin on your feet peel after a certain amount of time. So like after like 5 to 7, maybe 10 days, excuse me, the skin peels away. And it'll just peel on its own. Excuse me, y'all. And so I don't think she's gonna remember that. So I'm gonna give her one or two of those. Just to show her that I was listening, I'm paying attention. And it's something that she would actually use. So I know she's curious because she seemed curious when I was talking to her about it. So I'm gonna try to remember to give her two of these, and I'm gonna load back up on these. I cannot wait. Like, these things are awesome. These are something. These are things I never would have thought I would live for. But I'm gonna give these to her and explain to her how they go. Okay, y'all. So. But yeah, anyway, I'm just annoyed that I had to be the breaker all week. Then my Friday, I got to deal with this dusty heifer. It's like, girl, like you still want to be petty. You're 42 years old. You can't say, hey, I'm going to break, or hey, why couldn't you have told me I'm going to break later on today for whatever reason? Or why is it that you can't communicate with me something work related, which that's work related? Whatever your reason is, say, hey, I'm just gonna go to break later. I'm gonna get him to break me out. What is so hard about saying I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going to get some water, hey, I'm going to break? She literally will not say anything to me. She literally will not say anything to the guy who she hates for no reason. Y'all, I really can't. Her cousin was there today, and he spoke to me a couple of times, and even when I got to my car and he was about to pass by. He was like kind of like several steps behind me, and I didn't even know until he said something to me. And he was like, all right, well, you have a good weekend. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. I'll try. You do the same. He was like, I'm going to try. He was like, you see they got us coming up here? I was like, yeah. Like, he kind of was trying to have small talk and things like that. Like, I like the fact that we actually have a decent, like, communication with one another, and we cool. But I just don't like the fact that he likes to placate to his dusty cousin. And I'm just like, you ain't know this heifer was related to you until she said something to you about it after you started working here. I'm the type of person that if you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care if you're related to me or not. That's why I was so grateful that my parents always told us, we don't care if you are our children. If you did wrong, you're going to go to jail. You're going to do the time, whatever, whatever. A lot of y'all probably won't agree with that because you feel like, oh, that's my child. I'm going to do this, that, and the other for them. I'm going to put the house up. Like, nah, ain't nobody got time to put the house up, the car up, and all this other stuff. Are they going to actually learn their lesson? Some people, it only takes one time and they will learn their lesson, but no. I respect my parents for being like, no, you need to learn a lesson. You broke the law, then okay. Now, if it's a situation, of course, where it's looking more like us a setup than a lie, then okay, we are not finna settle for this. We not finna be here for that. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. I will see y'all later on. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.